Hey butterflies, welcome back to Evolving Butterfly Goddess with me, Moe Nicole. Here we are all about evolving out loud in our life, our money, and our purpose through the energy of our ancestors. I want to thank you for your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes here on the channel. It is always appreciated. And a major shout out to all the channel members as well as the members over on my website. Thank you for your continued support. You are appreciated, my love books. So we are back with another collective ancestor channel message. So I hope everyone is doing well, and a little background on where some of this is coming from. So as my members know, I shared it with them, but my sister had her baby. So seeing her transition into a mom is just like, oh my gosh, I feel like such a proud big sister because she's doing so great. And so I was just down in Mississippi visiting, and they had this big old watermelon, right? And as I was leaving, because his mom was down cooking and stuff, so I had some greens. I was like, oh no, I gotta make some greens. So now I'm making greens right now. And so as I was leaving, they cut me some watermelon to take with me, and I just finished eating some, and all of a sudden I heard like this ancestral energy come out and be like, dang, you remember the time when you didn't like greens, or not greens, when you didn't like watermelon? Like, there was a time in my life when I didn't like watermelon. I refused to eat it. Refused to eat it. You hear me? And a lot of it, honestly, was because of the stereotypes that was placed on it. So I wanted to not be like the stereotypes that was placed on, when it comes to watermelon. And so that is part of the reason why. But now I eat it, and I'm just like, this good. And so I saw a butterfly today. It was a yellow butterfly when I was walking Jonah. And it just made me think about transitions, transformations, but gently and softly. So like, not being too hard on yourself as you transition into something new or something different, because there's something in your life, either you've already started to do this or you're going to be preparing to do this, but it's something that you may have used to be against and used to, have like your particular judgment on it. And then now you're finding yourself being attracted to it, or you're finding yourself having interest in it. You may find yourself in that space really soon. And I'm getting, this is the energy of just transformation and evolution in general. It's okay to accept, as we grow into new, like a new version of ourselves. Like, that new version is going to need new things. And so know that whatever you decided on back in the past, it was good for you then. And what you're decided on now is good for now. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a vibe. Some of you all are worried about going back on your word, or, wanting something that you said you never would want, or something of that nature. Communication is coming out, okay? So there's definitely, and then personal growth. So as we're talking about growing, going to a next level, some of you all, this is thinking about like saying you would never go back to a relationship or something, but you are, or you're deciding to. I'm not even going to read into that because y'all know I don't like reading into relationship and love situations like that. But if it's that with a relationship, definitely weigh your pros and cons. But this communication with personal growth, if it's just dealing with your own personal self, you may find yourself, being interested in things that you may have said that you would never be interested in the past when you were growing up, or like, not they want to start cutting grass. You know how you were cute, like, oh, when I grow up, I'm never going to do X, Y, and Z. It could be something that your parent did, and now you see yourself doing the same thing that you used to say that you wasn't going to do. It could be something along that. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Cups. So the time has come for you to do some of the things that you may have not saw yourself doing, okay? The wheel is now turning in your favor. Yeah, you got the Lovers and the Five of Wands that's coming out. And the Five of Wands, with it being in the reverse, it's just making me think about internal battles that you may be having with yourself internally because of some of these decisions that you want to make, okay? some decisions that you want to make, some of the things that you want to do. You may be beating yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Especially if you decide to want to change your mind. Who is that? Keisha Cole. I change my mind. You can change your mind whenever you want to. You have the right to change your mind. And we're usually our worst critic. So meanwhile, we think we're trying to do something to keep from hurting someone else's feelings, but in reality, it's like, they'll be fine. They'll get over it in 2 days, okay? Some of that is for ourselves as well, to try to keep from having conflict. So I'm getting this energy of there's no need to try to run from conflict, because there is a such thing as productive conflict where, y'all are talking it out, communicating it out. Talking like grown folk, as they would say, not being immature about it, but actually sitting, listening to a person. Real communication. So some of you all may be coming to a place of communicating with someone that you said you wouldn't communicate with again. I ain't never talking to him again. And, y'all end up talking again. It's just like, that's fine. Things happen. We make proclamations based off of how we're feeling in that moment, and we meant that shit. Did. We have the Devil coming out. And then the Six of Wands. I was just talking about playing devil's advocate. You may have to stand up for yourself with this change or whatever it is that you do, because everyone may not be on your side at first. You may have to stick up for yourself to hype yourself up, and then other people will be all interested too then. You may have a situation coming up where you are going to be working really, really hard on it. You did your best and you don't get the results from it that you were expecting. Okay. It's okay. You can do it again. You can fix it. I'm hearing, Aaliyah, rest in peace. I know her death anniversary just passed. But if you don't get the praise that you were expecting to get, don't judge yourself off of it. Whew. Don't judge yourself off of it. Things happen at the end of the day how they're supposed to happen. And sometimes we're not meant to manifest something in that way. I just take it as, if something don't work out for me anymore, it wasn't meant to work out in that way. If it would have happened, then I would have had to deal with something else down the line. I just kind of take it in like that. All right. We will pull one card for physical, emotional, and spiritual. I walked outside today. With my sports bra and my leggings and stuff to walk with Jonah. Baby, it was cold. I'm like, wait, where does this come from? It was just 100 and something just about a day ago, okay? It ain't never been this cold in the morning time. I was like, we walking in the sun and the sun only. Ain't no shadows. Ain't no shade. We ain't walking in no shade. All right, physical. You have the Nine of Knives. This advice is giving from the physical, like, don't beat yourself up about making different decisions, but then also make sure you don't do anything that self-sabotages you and your body and your physical health as well. This ancestral energy is saying you can sometimes self-sabotage and have yourself in like a mental tizzy when in reality things are not to the extent that is being made at that time. So be careful and make sure that you have some level of balance between truth and like projected feelings, you know, because you could be doing something, because in this card he has his head stuck in between the couch cushions upside down, and it's like, ooh, the world is so horrible, woe is me. But it's just like, lift your head up out the couch cushions, you know what I'm saying? Into the emotion, you have the Empress. Ooh, I love the Empress on this card because baby, she fine, okay? You see her? So emotional, this is getting into the aspect of having a I can do anything. I know I can do. I know I can be what I want to be. But know that you're protected as well. You are guided at the same time. And you are also supported when you're doing this with an authentic personality and an authentic mindset. You have the support of the divine feminine energy behind you. So when it comes to your emotional self, allow yourself to go through the process as well, because the moon phases on here is standing out to me. Even though I know the moon phases are on all the major arcana, it's standing out on here because there's two different sets of moon phases on here. And one of them is with the card, and oh, it's with her headdress actually. And when we think about the moon goes through different phases. So different emotions, different feelings. So when it comes to your emotions, allow yourself to feel them all so that you can eventually master them all. Because you can never know what you need to master if you don't know what it is. Like if you've never experienced it, to know what to look out for either, okay? So in this emotional energy, the advice is definitely giving to allow yourself to go through, you know, the feelings and manage it that way versus trying to stop it. Acknowledge how you're feeling, you know. Now the spiritual, you have the Hierophant. Oh, she's so dainty. Don't she look like she's going to Sunday school? So with the Hierophant coming out in the spiritual energy, this is basically saying from the ancestors to make sure that you are feeding your spiritual soul. Make sure you are feeding your spiritual like self. Always be learning, identifying ways to advance yourself. You know what I'm saying? How to feel better for yourself. Always be in that energy of just, yes, being ready, you know? And being open to what is available to you. Because you have a lot that is available to you. But your ancestors want you to study more. I'm hearing about history. It's definitely a learning. But then also, I'm hearing of knowing who you are. Like getting to the heart of remembering who you are. Like the promise that is on you and your lineage, you know. On your bloodline. Always be real. Always be true. Don't be afraid to do what you want to do. Period. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. And as always, continue to bloom.